evening, everyone. My name is Debbie Singleton, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I come to you live Monday evenings at 7 p.m. Arizona time. I hope everyone had a great Labor Day weekend. Hopefully for everyone, it was a long weekend, and this is the ending of your long weekend. And everyone, if you went out for the long weekend, has made it back safely. It was a very warm one, and everyone had fun doing whatever they were doing and out in the heat, or got away and made it nice and cool, hopefully. We had a nice, enjoyable time spending it at home, and we didn't really go anywhere. We spent part of the afternoon yesterday at my daughter's house, spending it with their children and her. It's her birthday today. So we spent it with her, just spending some time with her for her birthday. So that was really nice. So then we just spent today putzing around the house, doing some honey-do list things, which was nice. We're trying to fix some things with the house, and my husband, he is quite the perfectionist. So because it's not perfect that it got done, he's going to redo it again. I know I surprised you, huh? I got done with all my stuff, so I decided to do it live because I got all done. So I said, why not? So I kind of put together a live project just in case I got done with all my stuff that I was working on, and I did. So I put together a little card for us. So I decided to pull out, I had a hard time working up with this. I ordered this stamp set because I liked the stains with it. So, but I wasn't sure that I actually liked any of the other parts of the stamp set, which happens a lot. Sometimes I don't use the other parts of the stamp set, but I like the stains of it. So it's called Fruitful Blessings. And I liked Grateful for You, Wishing You Many Blessings, and Hello Friend. And that's all the sayings. But the other stuff, it's got flowers, it has pears. I'm not a fruit person. I know it says Fruitful Blessings. So you would think, why would I want it? But like I said, I liked the stains in it. So a lot of times I pull the stains out and use just the stains out of a stamp set, but not the other parts of it. So I really struggled with this, but I wanted to use just the stamp set and the dies. So I really kind of sat down and really kind of sat with it for a little while, and then I came up with this card. So I used the dies and I used the stamp set, and then we have, and you color with it. So I did most of the coloring, so you didn't have to sit here and watch me color. I also pulled the autumn leaves die set so that we could use one of the die set pieces for the sentiment. And then we have these new Abundant Beauty decorative masks that are in the catalog that's available on the 6th. And I thought that it had this mask in it, and we do not, which really bummed me out because I thought that it was like a crisscross, but it's not in here. So that really bothered me and bummed me out because that's what I wanted the decorative to be was not in there. So when I pulled the decorative mask set out, I was like, all right, it's the one that's in there is not. So, all right, what am I going to use? So one that was in there is leaves and acorns, and so I'm like, well, okay, it kind of goes with what I'm doing, so I'll just use this as a background. Not the background I wanted, but okay. We do in the regular catalog, we do have a stamp that is exactly what I wanted, but of course, because I thought it was in this one, I didn't open it up in time and order it. I couldn't get it for this live. So, we do have them. So I'm going to order it so that I have it for my future ones. But we do have a stamp that would do exactly what I wanted it to do. And I am going to find it. So this is what I wanted. And I wanted it to be a sketch pad. I wanted it to be a plaid, and that we do have a stamp that will do that. I wanted it to be a plaid background. That's what I really wanted. And I thought that it did that in this decorative, but it didn't. So anyways, we do have one. So I'm going to use this sketch or this decorative mask. Anyways, so here's the card that we're going to make. It ended up turning out kind of cute anyways. So I'm going to turn it this way so you can see it better. So here's the card. So it turned out okay anyways, but I just turned out not in what I had in my head. So when you have something in your head and it didn't turn out right, it just sometimes happens. So I did the background in a different yellow. So I used Lemon Lolly for the background, and then I used this coloring is Dark Daffodil Delight. So it turned out actually pretty cute. All right, so I'm going to show you how you can use the decorative mask. So I did save that part so we can do that. So this piece that we're going to use, so I'll give you so our actual card base is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And then the layering piece, this is copper, my goodness, our new color. I'm sorry, I haven't learned all the new colors yet. Copper clay, that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then the piece that we're going to color on is very vanilla. And that is 3 3 3/4 by 5. So a good way so that it doesn't move on you. Oh, thank you, Mom. So you want to lay this down and then lay your mask down on it and lay your mask so you get most of the design on there. And I decided I wanted to lay, you can use tape, whatever you want. I had handy these Post-it notes, so I use these Post-it notes. But tape works, Post-it notes work, anything that's going to hold this in place. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to hold that in place. And you're going to open up your and then these are our blending brushes, and we have little ones too. So we have minier ones, and you can use that too. I just happen to have bigger ones. I haven't got the minier ones, so I just use this. And we're gonna we want the whole thing, we want the whole paper on there. So, and you can see it. You probably can't see on there, but so you're just gonna dab on here, and you're gonna just start coloring on the mask, and this does come off your mask because the mask is I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for words. Shiny. So once we're done, we can wipe this clean and it will come off. So we're gonna just go across here. I got a little too dark there, but it'll be okay. We're going to put stuff on here anyways. But you can make it as dark or as light as you want the background to be. But I picked kind of this Lemon Lolly. It's actually really pretty. You can go, we have so many yellows, but you can go whatever, you actually can do it any color you want it to be. I thought yellow the because we're doing fall colors, but you can do green, you can do yellow, you can do orange. So again, you can do any colors you want. But I just thought the yellow was nice. And this lemon lolly is kind of a lighter yellow, so I liked that. That's what I'm actually doing a little bit darker. But again, you can do it lighter, darker, whatever. It's your card, so you can make it as light or as dark as you want it to be. And if some of them you want to be just a little bit, then that'll work too. And again, with the brushes too, the color will come out. You just wash them with water and it rinses right out. Some people keep the brushes to that color so they don't have to rinse them out. I always rinse them out and reuse them. So that's up to you too. So I think that looks pretty good. I just want it to give it a little bit of depth. There we go. And look at that. Actually, pardon me, that looks pretty good. You can kind of see that. That took really good shape. Now I'll take this and I'll rinse this off. I used a baby wipe earlier and it came off, but it will come off. So that's really kind of nice. And it rinses off just like the. So now we are ready. Actually, I'm going to color. Set this aside and do my coloring. So I already colored one all together. I did that whole, I used the Fruitful dies and I cut these out. So I used the die. The die set's amazing. So they have little corns in them, have corn husks, you have leaves, and this die here cuts these flowers out. So I stamped the flower and then I cut the flower out, which is so nice that we have that, and then a little flower too. So I stamped it with the black and then I cut it out, and then I already colored one all together. So that you didn't have to watch me color two of them, because I know that's just so much fun. But I did want to show you how to use the masks. So I did do that. I did want to wait for that, but I did color this. So on my card, I used a little bit different coloring. I did different shading for the leaves and a little bit different shading on the purple. Leaves, I've been watching people and I really liked that they did the colors for the flowers. They're bringing in purples, and you know how much I love purple. So even for fall, they're using purples and they're even using turquoises and stuff for the fall colors. And I love that they did the purple for the flowers. So that's what I did. So and then I did a different shade of green from the card that I did, but so I was like, I really didn't like that shade of green, so I brought in a different green from the card that I did for this one. We have so many greens, so you can pick whatever color green that you decide you want to do. So I liked this green better, and what I did was I brought in Mossy Meadow. And I like this much better. So I brought in a light and dark Mossy Meadow. And I think that is so much better. I like that. I like that a lot better. So what I did was I went over the light color first. And then I took the dark Mossy Meadow. And I just went and I just gave it some where the lines are. And I just took, got a little too much, but just giving it a little bit where the lines already are. And that just gives a little bit more depth. And I just think that adds a little bit more to it. So it makes it kind of nice. And same with on this leaf, I just took a little bit where the lines are, and maybe not even perfectly where the lines are. I just kind of added a little bit. And it just made it super nice. So, but I did the light first and then I did the dark. Now these flowers, they're pumpkin pie, the dark pumpkin pie. So super easy to color. These pens, I just love them, the Stampin Blends. And I use the one that looks like the end of a paintbrush, and the markers are so easy to use. You don't even have to press very hard and already the color comes out. You don't even press. I barely am pressing and the color already just goes right onto the page. So this is the one that I used that I did purple with. And the purple that I decided on, that one I did a darker purple, so I ended up using this one. I like it much better. The light Blackberry Bliss is the one I liked much better. So again, and usually I just kind of go around the edges and then in the middle. That just seems to work a little bit better. And I kind of did this one backwards. I usually do the green last, but like I said, I wanted to color some of this so you didn't have to watch me do this. So this is kind of backwards for me. Not that there's any right or wrong way to color. You can color however you want. That's just how I usually do it. Okay. And then I did these little berries up here in the purple as well. Again, you barely have to touch this and it colors them. So it's really nice. And then I did this flower, this big one. I did this in the dark Daffodil Delight. I think this is the daisy, but so you can do it in any color you want. The daisies are actually all different colors. You could do any of these flowers in any color you want. Literally. All right. And for the middle, I took our light pecan pie and I went around the outside here, and around the outside here, and then the inside, I did the dark pecan pie. That's the inside. The inside. The inside. There we go. So that's all of our coloring. Then our stamping, I stamped the wishing you many blessings with copper clay. On a piece of very vanilla that I used the Autumn Leaves die set. And in here is this little piece. So it's in here, this little piece right here out of the Autumn's die set. I use this a lot. I really like that little, got a cute little edge to it. Okay, get that in there. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to assemble all this. So turn this over. Creases. All right, now we can throw everything in here. Put this on, glue this. We know where our boundaries are. Okay. These colors go so nicely together. Oh my God, I'm really loving copper clay. All right, so I took a piece of this. This pack comes together, this copper and natural ribbon. That's really, I've used this other natural ribbon, but it comes with this copper clay ribbon. So I took a piece of this copper clay ribbon and I didn't tie a bow on it. So how I put it behind it just so that it kind of pops out. An easy way to attach it. Normally we attach ribbon with glue dots, but because I'm gonna do it a different way, I'm using my tear and tape, and I'm gonna just put like a little piece of tear and tape. Just tear off some of it and just stick it on. I'm just gonna kind of put it here because that's where it's gonna. I'm gonna kind of zigzag it. So it's gonna be easier to work with by just putting a piece of tear and tape on here and zigzagging it. And it's kind of laid differently. So I'm kind of gonna eyeball it because I'm not really sure how I'm gonna put it on here. So I'm gonna kind of go like so. And I want to loop it like so. And I want to loop it like so. Okay. Now, actually, I did that more than I did on mine, so hopefully it's going to work better. All right, so then I used dimensionals, and I popped these up. Popped my flowers. All right. And I also use dimensionals, and I popped this up. So let's put some dimensionals on that. All right, so let's peel all these all off. And then I'm going to just kind of set this on here. All right, so then I just kind of play with this before I actually set this on here. Oh yeah, I did this. I have put way more ribbon on this one than I did the other one. I can really see the ribbon now. So, I did way too much ribbon. Maybe not. There we go. I like that on there. Okay. I can always cut that off. And then where that meets is really where I want this to go. Let's see if, all right. Okay. I'm going to cut that off just a little bit. I don't want that sticking up so much. Okay. So now I can stick that all down. Okay. Now I can put that on there. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Okay. There's our card. So that has a little more ribbon showing than the one I did, which is much better. I like it better that there's more ribbon showing. That just has just a little bit, so you can kind of play with it and show more ribbon if you want, but I like that I placed that a little bit better. So yeah, so there's the two cards that we made tonight. Well, I made that one, and then I did that one earlier. So, and I like the green a little bit better. So there's our card. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate that. And the catalog does come out on the 6th that you can see. So if you need something, just let me know. I'll be happy to send that to you. And I will see you guys on next Monday. But in the meantime, if you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, thank you again for joining me. And have a great evening. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.